28 pictures of breathtaking places.
Hey everybody, I'm the host of Wacky Universe. Welcome to Titanic, and here's another video.
You've heard of some of the places on this list. Now let's get a glimpse of some of the most stunning pictures ever taken, and who knows, maybe you'll find yourself visiting sometime soon. 28. Cappadocia. Located in the historical region of central Anatolia, Cappadocia is home to lots of amazing sights in Turkey. And one of the most popular activities to take part in includes riding hot air balloons over the rocky landscapes. From pillars, fairy chimneys, and river valleys, there's no shortage of amazing sights to be taken in when you're up that high. Plus, seeing a picture of all those colorful balloons in the air looks like something out of a fairy tale. 27. Fiordland National Park. Anytime you visit a national park, it means there's acres of land that Mother Nature made into a spectacle. And one of those places is Fiordland National Park in New Zealand. One of the most popular spots in the park includes the Field of Purple Russell Lupins, which only counts as a fraction of the 3,900 square miles or 10,000 square kilometers that make up the whole park. 26. Bagan. This ancient city was once the capital of the Pagan Kingdom, found in the central region of Myanmar. From the 11th to the 13th centuries, more than 10,000 Buddhist temples were built, while only about 2,200 of these structures remain in the modern day. Still, seeing an image like this of the ruins of Bagan gives you an idea of how mighty it must have looked back in the day. 25. Pamukkale. It looks like someone carved these pools into the side of a glacier. But Pamukkale is neither man-made nor snow. That white material you see comes from the carbonate mineral that's been deposited thanks to flowing water. Located in the inner Aegean region, the name Pamukkale translates from Turkish to mean cotton castle. These hot springs surrounded the ancient Greco-Roman city of Hierapolis. 24. Okavango Delta. Along where the Okavango River meets an endorheic basin in the Kalahari sits a huge swamp inland delta. Located in Botswana, Okavango Delta gets produced by seasonal flooding, and every year, about 11 kilometers cubed of water flows in, creating this watery green landscape teeming with wildlife like zebras, rhinos, hippos, wildebeest, and more. 23. St. Basil's Cathedral. Staring at the famous and intricately made St. Basil's Cathedral in Moscow, you wouldn't think that someone named Ivan the Terrible sent out the orders to have the church built. But hey, that's how history goes. Located in Moscow's Red Square, the cathedral dates all the way back to 1561, and from the looks of it, remains as majestic as ever when you focus especially on the iconic and colorful domes. 22. Namib Desert. Look, the Namib Desert is a big place. From the Sossusvlei region full of empty trees to the dune sea in this photo, it shows that just because something's a desert doesn't necessarily mean it's barren. This landscape of orange and red sand can be found along the coasts of Namibia, South Africa, and Angola. The name Namib meaning vast place. What's even more strange to take in is how the desert just meets the ocean, making for a highly contrasting landscape. 21. Forbidden City. You would think that a place called the Forbidden City would be found in some far-off land hidden by mountains and forests. But alas, the Forbidden City sits in the middle of Beijing, one of the biggest cities in China. And that's saying a lot. Its name and vast structure makes this complex appear mysterious, meaning it's full of history. 20. Benagil Sea Cave. It doesn't even look like a real place, but if you travel to the Algarve coast of Portugal, you'll see that this isn't just a picture. Rather, it's a snippet of what you would actually experience in real life when you visit the Benagil Sea Cave. To get there, you need a boat if you don't want to swim the entire way, since the only access means you have to go through the ocean. 19. Samarkand. The country of Uzbekistan doesn't get a lot of international tourists, but that doesn't mean there's not a lot to take in. Especially when it comes to the city of Samarkand and the things that can be found at the public square known as Registan. The entrances to one of the complexes looks like it came right out of an ancient history book and has managed to retain its blue hue for centuries. 18. Great Wall of China. The wall was built in segments over the years, and people have come from all over to check out this architectural marvel. Those who constructed this enormous fortification did so with materials ranging from stones to tamped earth, wood, brick, and more. Most people are used to seeing the wall from afar, though seeing it from the path itself looks just as daunting. 17. Na Pali Coast. Anywhere in Hawaii can be a scenic treat. But aside from all the exotic forests, beautiful beaches, and resorts, there's also the Na Pali Coast. Right here in particular, you can see the different colors and carvings of this Kauai coastline. And unless you have access to a catamaran or helicopter, looking at a picture might be your only bet to checking the coast out, unless you're up for a treacherous hike. 16. Santorini. Once known as Thera, we now call this island in the southern Aegean Sea Santorini. And while many complain because nowadays Santorini gets flooded with tourists, it can still be nice to appreciate the style of the architecture put against a backdrop of the blue sea. 15. Isle of Skye. The second largest island in Scotland, the Isle of Skye, has some of what's considered the most dramatic scenery in the whole country. Among the mountain slopes and fairy pools, every turn you take on this island can be breathtaking, especially when you capture the sunset in the distance between the mountain ridges. 14. Bora Bora. Everybody who dreams of a tropical getaway thinks of Bora Bora. Located in the Society Islands of French Polynesia, Bora Bora sees its share of vacationers desiring to relax amongst the clear blue water. And seeing the collection of huts along the water brings to mind the feeling of a small village sitting out on the sea. 13. Vancouver. Canada doesn't have a huge population of people, but one of their bigger cities, Vancouver, proves to be one of the most beautiful in the world. Located on the western region of Canada in British Columbia, staring at this view of the city's coast makes it look extra blue thanks to the blue sky, blue creek, and glass buildings. 12. Ashikaga Flower Park. Staring at this huge Fuji tree appears surreal, but this 100-year-old tree serves as one of the main drawing points for people to visit the Ashikaga Flower Park in Japan. If you're looking for some cool places to visit, this park counts as the best place to experience the splendor of the Fuji flowers. 11. Hawa Mahal. Sure, seeing the Hawa Mahal, also called the Palace of the Winds in English, in real life would be a fantastic treat. But somehow, seeing a photo of it up close and full of color can be the next best way to observe this 5-story pyramid-esque palace located in Jaipur, India. 10. Whitehaven Beach. Situated along the coast of Whitsunday Island, Australia, Whitehaven Beach appears like an airbrush painting of what a real beach would look like. Except this is a real beach. From this, you can see just how the white silica sands blend seamlessly into the aquamarine ocean. 9. Rome. Centuries ago, many considered Rome the capital of the world. But every major civilization thought they were the center of the world. On foot, you can see all sorts of major historical structures all over the city. But nothing beats a nice view from the top when the sun's setting over the Roman cityscape. 8. Waitomo Glowworm Caves. In Maori, Waitomo translates to mean water shaft, in reference to the river that runs through this cave in the North Island of New Zealand. The Waitomo Glowworm Caves looks almost artificial, but those glowing blue-green lights through this tunnel really is the work of nature. 7. Machu Picchu. The most popular place to visit in Peru can be found amongst the heights of the Andes Mountains. This ancient citadel built by the Inca would be later abandoned, leaving its structures to be worn away by time, yet still somehow maintaining its shape at such a high elevation. And when the clouds pass through the old city, it only emphasizes the mystery surrounding the empty stone walls. 6. Ha Long Bay. This is another one of those places that might get so saturated with humans that enjoying the scenery may get impossible because of the lack of space. But if you catch Ha Long Bay in the early morning during the sunrise, when not too many people will be there, you can truly take in the serenity and mistiness of this bay in Vietnam. Most of the thousands of islets located here came from limestone. The name Ha Long means descending dragon for how the islets just jut out of the water like a dragon's back. 5. Keukenhof Garden. If there's any place in the world that's famous for its abundance of tulips, it's the Netherlands, most particularly in Lees, South Holland. From this photo, we get a glimpse of the Keukenhof Garden, which in English means kitchen garden. Some others refer to it as the Garden of Europe. It ranks as the largest flower garden in the region, complete with its own little forest and pond. 4. Moravian Fields. Prague isn't the only thing worth visiting in the Czech Republic. Most people might know much about this country, so we should emphasize the beauty of the fields of Moravia. The hills there look like a blanket rippling in the wind. This historical county is home to what's been called the rolling hills for how these fields appear. And in this photo in particular, it looks more like a painting than a photo. 3. Great Blue Hole. You wouldn't think that just a hole in the ocean would look so cool, but the Great Blue Hole shows that it indeed can. The Great Blue Hole of Belize can be found at 43 miles or 70 kilometers away from the mainland. From an aerial view, it looks like a huge blue ink blot. But really, that thing descends about 407 feet or 124 meters deep. 2. Paris. Referred to as both the City of Love and the City of Light, there's really no denying that Paris can be a beautiful place to travel to. And though most of the world has become familiar with the image of the Eiffel Tower, how many times have you actually observed what the cityscape of Paris looks like at night? With a lack of high-rise buildings, you get the same sense of the tightly knit streets as well as all the warm lights that lead the way. 1. Venice. Again, not a city known for the big skyscrapers and neon lights. But that doesn't stop people from visiting in droves when it comes to Venice, Italy. Regarded as one of the most beautiful places in the world, it's really difficult to beat a classically Italian city that's built along canals. How cool! Perhaps one of the best views you can catch in here include a ride in a boat along the Santa Maria della Salute while the sun is setting.
What did you think of the video? Let us know in the comments below, and if you like these kind of videos, check out my channel, Wacky Universe.